NBN's controversial survival show Under15 won't be moving forward after all. The program, which will feature 59 contestants under the age of 15 vying for a spot in a new girl group, was originally set to premiere on March 31st. As expected, from the moment the show was announced, it faced heavy backlash, which only grew worse as the contestants were revealed and teaser videos were released. But it looks like all the criticism actually made a difference. On March 21st, NBN put out a statement saying they were seriously reconsidering the concerns raised and reviewing both the show's content and its broadcast plans. They promised to announce their final decision after a thorough review, so stay tuned for more updates and let us know your thoughts. Do you think they will follow through with canceling it, or are they just saying this to ease public outrage? In other news, NJZ are now restricted from pursuing any activities outside of ADOR as the court has approved the company's request to block the members from working independently. As mentioned previously, on March 7th, both sides attended a court hearing to present their arguments. NJZ stated they faced discrimination and exclusion as artists under both ADOR and HYBE, which they believe justified terminating their contracts. ADOR denied these claims, and for now, the Seoul Central District Court has ruled in favor of the company. The decision made on March 21st means NJZ cannot legally work elsewhere until the court fully recognizes their contract termination in the main trial. The court also emphasized that when a contractual relationship becomes difficult to maintain, the burden of proof falls on the party claiming termination. To explain the main points of the ruling, during the March 7th court session, NJZ had argued that CEO Min Hee-jin's dismissal created serious management issues. However, the court ruled that ADOR had the freedom to make business decisions and that Min Hee-jin's involvement in production wasn't required by the contract. The group also claimed that ADOR had harmed their relationship with Dolphiners, but the court dismissed this in their ruling, stating that Dolphiners wasn't involved in the case and that even if there was a problem, it wouldn't justify breaking the contract. NJZ also argued that ADOR neglected them after Min Hee-jin's departure. In response, the court explained that their attempt to end the contract also created management disruptions. When the group questioned what could qualify as valid reasons for contract termination, the court made it clear that there were none. It said that ADOR had taken significant financial risks in investing in New Jeans since their trainee days and fulfilling all contractual obligations. According to them, allowing the members to end the contract after only 2 years of success would result in serious damage to ADOR. Initially, public opinion leaned toward the members, with netizens criticizing HYBE for allowing the situation to escalate to this point. Comments like, "Ugh, this is disgusting," and "they won't protect the artist and just block their future, but the court will still side with the company," filled online forums showing who the public was siding with. Others, however, felt the court's ruling was unsurprising, arguing that NJZ couldn't just declare their contracts void and move on. To them, simply announcing their departure, rebranding, and continuing activities outside of ADOR didn't automatically make their contracts invalid. As a commenter put it, "Legally, it makes sense that they lost the injunction because it's not based on feelings, but on what's written in the contract, and since the mistreatment wasn't in the contract, it doesn't apply in this scenario." Korean netizens also supported this sentiment, with some commenters saying that the signed contract needs to be upheld and that the members can't run away from the law, and accusing them of throwing a tantrum. After the court's decision, NJZ made a post on Instagram, but their statement only sparked more discussion. They accepted the ruling but argued that it didn't fully reflect the extent of their broken trust in ADOR. They also pointed out that the injunction process was rushed, leaving them little room to present their case properly. NJZ went on to claim that ADOR and HYBE had complete access to all relevant information, while they had to track down details on their own. They also mentioned that many people hesitated to help them due to fear of retaliation. Despite this outcome, NJZ made it clear they weren't giving up and planned to challenge the decision by submitting more evidence and raising additional legal arguments. Once again, they insisted they had done nothing wrong and had honored their contracts, while ADOR and HYBE had mistreated them, making it impossible to continue working together. They stressed that the injunction was only temporary and that the real legal battle over their contracts was still ahead, with a key hearing scheduled for April 3rd. They believed this trial would allow them to present a stronger case with more legal tools at their disposal. Despite everything, NJZ reassured their fans that they remain dedicated, as their fight wasn't about money but about standing up for their rights. As for their performance at the ComplexCon on March 23rd, they confirmed that it would still happen and explained that they wanted to respect both their fans and everyone involved in the event. NJZ may have intended to share their side of the story with their Instagram post, but it didn't go over as they might have hoped. While they still had plenty of support from fans and Korean netizens, many people also pushed back, criticizing certain points points they made. One of the biggest criticisms came from their claim that they didn't have enough time to present their case properly. Many found this hard to believe, considering that the dispute between HYBE and Min Hee-jin had been ongoing for almost a year and that it had been nearly 7 months since NJZ spoke out about their treatment in a live stream. To some netizens, that was more than enough time to prepare for a legal battle. Some even argued that knowing they were up against a company as powerful as HYBE, they should have been building their case from the very start. Another point that drew criticism was their claim that the court hadn't considered how HYBE had broken their trust. There were a few netizens who pointed out that the court did acknowledge this issue in its statement, it just didn't see it as a strong enough reason to justify terminating the contract. Then there was the issue of NJZ saying they had to gather information on their own, which some thought was unrealistic. As one person put it, expecting HYBE to willingly provide evidence that could be used against them was naive at best. One commenter even said, if they know they need certain documents which HYBE has, they can always apply to court for them under relevant laws. Even the simplest posts from them, like their stories with emojis of the members' representative animals, and then a muscle emoji to show the strength of them all together, and the other story with a heart drawing, and inside was an infinite sign, heart emoji, and bunny emoji, showing the bond between the group and the fandom, got a lot of reaction from netizens. Most urged the girls to step away from social media, saying it's best if they don't say anything. After the court's decision, ADOR also shared a statement expressing their desire to communicate openly with the group and find a resolution through dialogue. They confirmed their position as their agency, saying they would take full responsibility for supporting the group moving forward. ADOR also emphasized their commitment to supporting the ComplexCon performance, ensuring it would go ahead under the new jeans name from ADOR. With a major court hearing on the horizon and their performance just days away, all eyes are on how things will play out. The court also addressed the accusations against ILLIT that were brought up by Min Hee-jin and NJZ's side. As many recall, Min Hee-jin had originally cited ILLIT's plagiarism as the root of her conflict with HYBE, and NJZ also used it as one of their reasons for wanting to terminate their contracts. However, the court rejected this argument, stating that there was no clear evidence that ILLIT had plagiarized NJZ's concept. Additionally, the ruling noted that it was uncertain whether NJZ's concept could even be protected under intellectual property laws. The court also examined the allegations regarding ILLIT's manager, who, according to Honey, had instructed the ILLIT members to ignore her. NJZ further claimed that some members of ILLIT mocked Honey through words and actions, though they did not specify what was said or provide any proof. The court ruled that it was unclear whether Honey actually heard the alleged remark. They pointed out that on the same day, Honey had messaged Min Hee-jin in English, saying that 3 ILLIT members greeted her, albeit stiffly. Furthermore, CCTV footage from HYBE captured the ILLIT members bowing to greet her. Based on this, the court concluded that there was not enough evidence to support the claim that ILLIT members had ignored or mocked Honey. Following this ruling, many netizens felt sorry for ILLIT, saying that the whole situation must have been hard on them. Netizens commented, "This just makes me feel bad for ILLIT, and they must have worked so hard to debut, but it all went down the drain. I feel bad for them, seriously." After Honey's claims about the ILLIT incident gained attention, an article surfaced where a B-Lift lab manager described how the situation had affected ILLIT. According to the manager, the members were so shaken and confused that they became anxious about performing on stage. When this article was published, ILLIT faced significant backlash, with many mocking them for their reaction. However, recent discussions have led to a shift in sentiment, with some people now expressing sympathy for the group. Some even questioned whether ILLIT or B-Lift Lab could take legal action over the distress they experienced due to these accusations. As of now, neither the group nor their company has responded to the court ruling, but given how often ILLIT's name has come up in this situation, it's unlikely that this will be the last time they're mentioned.